Salli Swartz, Doug saying there perhaps it was a little bit more evenly matched than last time around, but did Trump do enough to save his campaign?
Well, you'll have to ask his campaign. But as far as I'm concerned, he did nothing of the sort. 51% of the people that are registered to vote in the United States are women. Would you like someone saying to you, it's just words? I mean, does that make it better? Especially when he turns around to Hillary Clinton and says, it's just words. He's completely incoherent. People might have thought that he was a bit less bad than he was the last time, only because he only interrupted her maybe 10 times as opposed to 48 or 67 times. The guy is totally out of control. He has no respect for anyone other than himself, and I think that the polls will say, but I didn't see him as contrite. I don't think he knows how to be contrite.
Bit less bad, though. I mean, his fans might say that he pulled a bit of a master stroke by having those three women sitting there and launching that attack on Bill Clinton.
They were completely irrelevant, the three women that were sitting there. You didn't see them on TV. Obviously, I wasn't in the room. They didn't speak. What did he think that was going to do? Make people scared? I think, and as my colleague said, hello, Bill Clinton is not running for president. And does anybody want to attack Trump's wives? Because he did have three of them. So I think he just, once again, dragged the debate down into the sewer where it shouldn't be. It should be much more intellectual and much more constructive.
Salli, I have a question. We were speaking earlier on our program to another commentator in New York, David Andelman, and he said that in a sense, perhaps this is a gift to the Hillary Clinton campaign in the sense that it might give an impetus to Donald Trump to actually stay in the campaign. We had Republicans calling on him to actually drop out. What do you think of that?
I actually heard David Andelman, and just so you know, I knew David Andelman 40 years ago, and I don't think anything is a gift. I think that it is true the more Donald Trump speaks, the more he shoots himself in the foot. If you call that a gift, then it's a gift. I think that, as you said earlier, he's preaching to the.
But do you think that those Republicans that we've been hearing about, especially since Saturday, who've been deserting him in droves, either saying drop out or just saying they're not voting or supporting him anymore, do you think this debate will give those Republicans pause to reconsider?
Well, John McCain is going to say, whoops, I didn't mean what I said 24 hours ago. How credible is that? I was surprised that so many deserted him, but I wouldn't be surprised if they held to their decision. I don't see how and even if they did come back, what kind of credibility is that for the Republicans? I don't like him, so never mind. I'm not going to do it, even though I knew that this is the kind of man that is representing us. And 24 hours later or 48 hours later, they say, well, actually, never mind. Whatever they do, I think the damage is done.
And very quickly, just last question about Hillary Clinton herself. I mean, did she do well in this debate? Because she didn't talk nearly as much as Trump did she?
That's hard. That's a hard act to follow. I think she did brilliantly, as she always does. She was coherent, constructive, and consistent. I think there were hard questions posed of her. I think the commentators did a good job, by the way. You didn't ask me a question, but I'll tell them. And I think Hillary Clinton is Hillary Clinton. She's solid. She knows how to be presidential. She will be a great president. And I think she answered all the questions with great sincerity and did the best she can against unheralded attacks on her character. And I think the result will show up in a few hours because it does take time to poll everyone. But I think what will cause this election to go for Hillary Clinton will mostly be those people that get out the vote and actually go to the polling booths. And for those Americans that are out overseas, please go to democratsabroad.org and get your ballot and vote.
Salli Swartz from Democrats Abroad in France. Thank you very much. Thanks to Doug as well. We'll have more from Republicans abroad, in fact, in around about 20 minutes' time here on France 24.